Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad you're here this morning. Hope everyone had a good holiday and ready to get back to whatever you enjoy doing. Some of you have to go to work. Maybe you enjoy that, but we're glad you're watching our show. Let's take a look first at our weather brought to us by Gulf Coast Air Conditioning, Drew Pollard and hardworking crew. Taking care of everyday comfort needs. High today 91, low 73, water temperature at the end of the pier 89 degrees. Let's take a look. We didn't get to a Monday moon forecast yesterday, so let's do it today. And we're going to look at, it's brought to us by Panama City Coca-Cola. And we're looking at, we had a big full moon last Thursday night, and it sort of started waning, so it's about 3/4 tomorrow night, and waning going down to a half moon in about 8 days. So we're at behind the full moon is always some good fishing, freshwater and saltwater. Our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. Good decent tides today. High tide this morning at 1:12 a.m. and then it's coming in, it's going out until right after lunch at about 1:09, about a 12-hour span right there. And it's sitting there for about 45 minutes and then start coming back in. Our wind direction, they'd be south at about 10. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back and welcome to our guest this morning, Wilbur Miller. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Appreciate the opportunity to come on and being your guest.
Been on before and does Miller fencing and just a big outdoorsman in his own right, and always I've been to fish fries in the driveway and all kind of fun things. But local guy, grew up over here in Calhoun County.
That's correct.
Tell us a little bit about it.
I was born and raised on a little farm in Calhoun County up in what they call the Carr community. Went to Carr Elementary School. Went to Frank High School till they closed it. After they closed the high school, I went to Bluntstown and graduated. Then I went to Chipola for a little while, and I realized I was not a material for a college. So I had an opportunity to put in an application, go on the highway patrol. I went patrol for 30 years and retired.
He had a great career, and he was. He's told me some stories, some war stories before. We don't have time to get a bunch of them, but. You get in college, and so many young people get in college and say, "This is not for me." And and you went and made a great career.
I did. I appreciate the opportunity of going to work with the state. That was not intended when I went to be a career. And I got talking about retirement. I said, "My gosh, I'm a young person. Don't talk about retirement." But then I stayed with it 30 years. I went to Jacksonville for my first assignment. Stayed over there about 10 months. Got an opportunity to come to Bay County in September 1, 1966. I've been here ever since.
Now, you were fortunate to get that transfer that early because I taught a lot of guys in law enforcement. Their first assignment is in South Florida for a good while. That's right. Then they come up here, especially the game wardens and all them.
Generally, 2 years. You go to an assignment, it's 2 years before you can ask to get out.
Okay.
But I had a great opportunity to come back here. I'm within 40 miles of where I was raised, and so I could go see Mom and Daddy and round up there anytime I wanted to, and it was just a great opportunity. It sure was.
And you still got some of those family land, or y'all got some property up there?
Yeah, Mom and Daddy both have passed away, and when they split up the property, I inherited 40 acres up there, and that's where I do my huntings on that 40 acres, and I have good success on it. Last year wasn't a real good one, but usually I have a good time killing some buck.
Each year I've shown his pictures, and there have been some not good bucks, there have been some fine bucks that he's taken out of there. I just get a kick out of it because it's just 40 acres. But he does anything right. I've always been impressed with the quality.
Yeah, we do, and it's a lot of fun to go up there and sit and watch what all goes and comes, and it's just really enjoyable. What
part of Calhoun County is around Carr or north of?
Clarksville? It's sort of about northwest of Clarksville up there. There's a little old creek runs right through my property. Call it Otter Creek. I never knew. I always call it the Marshall Branch when I was growing up, but they say it's Otter Creek is the name of it. But it goes right through my property, so that gives an excellent place for the deer to bed down and get water and everything else right there. And it's just been great. It's been real great.
I know you've really had good success on it. And I know it's even special going back to be your family land too. I know you sort of reminisce and just sit in that tree stand and just think about all the good days and times y'all have had. I know what you're talking about.
That was my grandma and granddad's old home place, and so its mama's inherited it.
Yeah.
And then when they split up the property, they gave it to me.
I love to see this kind of stores and all, instead of people selling to a solar farm or something. That's what people are doing now with old farms. But
Yes, we do.
but I know you very successful at fishing also.
Yeah, I enjoy fishing, and particularly brim fishing. I love brim fishing.
I know.
I've tried saltwater fishing years ago and had success at it, but I'd just like to go freshwater fishing. And this year has not been a real good year for us brim fishing. The river's been up and down, and I've had some issues that's kept me from fishing when I wanted to. So.
Well, you told me that, and because I mean, he's one of these 2 or 3 times a week kind of fisherman, and he sent me pictures and all, and you'd be tearing them up.
Mm-hmm.
But this was off year because, like you say, the water level, it wouldn't stay the same. I talked about it on the show.
Yeah, it's been up, muddy, and everything. And then a few months ago, I was diagnosed with prostate cancer, so I'm having to take radiation every day for that. So that right in the middle of the day, and so that sort of stops the fishing for a little while. And hot too. It's been hot, but thank the Lord, I'm doing good with the treatments and everything. It's going to be okay.
That's good news too, and we're real proud of that. And we'll keep you in our prayers. But
Thank you.
also, we're looking at the heat was extremely hot this summer.
It has been extremely hot. Been hot for us working, and of course,
in the fencing.
I'm supposed to be retired, but I still get out and get hot some in the fence business, and we still get going. We're been a little bit slow, but we're still going along.
Well, I love this too, because speaking of family, going way back with family, this little fence business is something you started when you were a trooper, right? You started putting in a little bit on the side.
I did. In '81, I started, got thinking about something to do when I retired. Then I was talking about retiring then in '81. And I said, I need to find something to do so when I retire, I can continue to do it. So I thought about a lot of different ideas of things comes around. And I said, well, I'd done some fence work before, so it'd been quite a number of years since I had, but I went into that, and it was real successful for me. And I thank the Lord for the people in the county that was that used me, and I appreciate it.
Well, when you started, you just started putting them all over the place, because I would see a little metal place, Miller fence.
That's
I'd be riding through Lynn Haven or Forest Park or something, I'd see that. And I said, well, he must be retired. No, he's still working. So you were burning midnight oil.
Yeah, I did. I worked a lot of hours.
You did. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back with Wilbur. Okay, welcome back. Here with Wilbur Miller Fencing, retired state trooper, 30 years as Florida Highway Patrolman, and started doing part-time fencing and did real well. Consummate outdoorsman, hunts and fishes. And but I pulled up some pictures. I want to show you some of the quality work. He's done 2 different fences for me, and they look great. So here we go right here. Let's talk about, here we go, the first fence right here. Just basically, just basic fences here.
This is a basic called stockade fence that's 6 foot high. And that's a very popular kind, very popular.
That's how mine, I thought, in fact, I looked at it and said, that looks like my fence. All right, you said y'all working here?
We are, we're right about to finish it up. I think we're putting the last on near the gate there, looks like what we're doing.
Yeah.
But we put that up, that's a stockade also.
All right.
That's a shadow box fence there. That's another kind that real popular, people won't see.
That is popular because it's the same way on both sides.
Yeah, got that and got some air can go through them.
And the idea too, get your neighbor to share the cost with you because it looks both on the same.
That is good.
I've always thought about it. This is up on a deck or something you close in, right?
Yeah, we did a job there in Lynn Haven, and the people wanted us to enclose under their deck. So this is a job we did, and I thought it turned out real good.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah,
it looks good. There's different heights and all.
Now, this is that same place we were just at there, and see, we bring it from actually come from an 8 foot down to a 4 foot. Stepped it down there.
That is cool. The chain link is where you started, right?
Yeah, I started chain link, and it's still not quite as popular as it used to be, but a lot of people are going to the black chain link.
And it's just very practical.
Yeah.
A chain, you know.
I don't know where that is, but it's a commercial job I did summers.
Special, especially with other people. Okay, here it is right here, just the original chain link on the right.
Chain link on the right, that's what I did just about totally did that when I was doing it by myself. I just stayed with chain
You
link.
did that by yourself?
Yeah, most of the time.
Goodness gracious. Now here's it. Do you still do your plastic fences?
Do some
Yeah.
of those. We do some of
Okay.
all of it.
Here's a crew.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's our.
Now
That's my son and my grandson.
yeah, that's what I meant. That's 3 generations of the family right there
It
and
is.
working. That's good. Good workers. Here's a phone number. You're going to give them a call at the bottom right there, 819-5620. And
Anybody that calls and gives me that tells me that they saw it on Panhandle Outdoors, I'll give a 10% discount on the price for anybody
Ooh.
that calls.
I mean, if I give me another fence put up, I'm going to get 10% off?
Yes, sir. I'll take care of you.
That's cool. Well,
Sure
good quality work. And I've always loved fences. They're just, according to the situation you're in, some neighborhoods, they're very good in. Some neighborhoods won't let you do them. But out there by yourself with a lot of land and all,
Yeah.
fence in, and
Yeah.
it's been good. Okay, let's get back to our outdoor stuff. And we're talking about you really like to catch catfish and different. Do you set trot lines out and all that?
What we do is go up to Lake Seminole and do call it noodle fishing for catfish in the lake. And this summer has not been able to go because the weather hadn't been cooperative
Yeah.
with us. We go up and put out noodles and wait for the fish to bite and bring them in.
I haven't yet done that. I've had people, good friends of mine, have done it. You've done it. What kind of bait do y'all use?
Usually like mullet. Mullet's what we like the best, and it works better. It stays on the hook better, and the old catfish will eat old mullet.
Just got a mullet strip. Just cut a mullet strip.
Yeah, just make bait out of the mullet.
Now, which is unusual because mullet is not a freshwater fish, but that goes with a smell.
That's
That's
what it
a
is.
natural
That's what it
fish
is.
smell. That's
That
what
sure
it
is. Sure is. We have real good success with the mullet, and have caught some big catfish. Went on one trip up there a few years ago, me and my 2 grandsons, and we had all the fish we could handle by 10 o'clock. We had one 26-pound and one 21-pounder on that one trip, and
Whoa.
the boys had a blast bringing those fish in.
That's a memory they won't forget.
Yeah, I hope it don't.
How deep do you usually put those noodles? I mean, you got to float up here. Usually, how deep down do you go?
I usually go about 15 to 17 foot.
All right.
Yeah, that's it. We look on the bottom and come just off in the river channel and the flat area where the catfish feed.
Okay. In the river channel, just as coming in.
Yeah,
That's where you set your trot lines
it's
off.
a challenging thing. It's a challenge. You say, well, just sitting in a boat doing nothing. You're exactly right until a catfish hits one of those hooks. The adrenaline goes to flowing then, and let's go right now and see what we got.
How long do you usually leave them out? Just like a normal fishing trip, or how do you do it?
We're leaving one place usually for about 30 or 40 minutes, and
Okay.
don't get something, we'll pull up and move to another spot. Like everybody else, we got spots we go to that uses some fish in.
Is it a channel cat, blue cat, or?
Channel and blue.
Okay.
Channel and blue, yeah, sure do. And we haven't caught any of the other varieties of catfish up there in that deep water,
Yeah.
but it's usually channels and blues. And sometimes you get big ones, it's hard to tell a blue from a channel.
Is that right when they get really big?
bigger. Yeah, sure do. But we enjoy it and enjoy carrying friends up there fishing. So I have to take you one day and watch you.
I'd love
What's
to.
your adrenaline pool?
I would love to do that. Let's plan on doing that this fall when it cools down a little
Yeah,
bit.
need to cool down a little
You
bit,
just
sure
let me
do.
know a couple days ahead, and we'll get somebody to do the show. We'll go up there.
That sounds like a pretty good idea.
We
Sure
could
do.
might take another buddy or two. We might take old Leonard Hall, let him hold the camera for us.
Well, that'd be all right. That'd be all right. That'd be okay. Yeah, I thought about that.
Leonard Hall grew up in Calhoun County, been
Yeah.
a friend of mine forever, and he's had a very illustrious career.
Yeah, he has. Leonard has had a real good career in the school system, and
Teacher, principal, school superintendent, state representative, and a little bit of everything.
still very active in the school. He goes to a lot of the school board meetings, and
Yeah.
he don't mind picking up the phone and calling the superintendent if he sees something not right.
I know it. He's a
He's
strong
right on.
Christian man, good strong faith, and two boys, and
He's right.
good folks there. This is what I call this. These folks salt of the earth and all. This in the Florida Panhandle.
Yeah.
They're just one thing that all have in common is a work ethic. I think all of us.
I think so, and even like when I was on the highway patrol, we had a lot of people from the Panhandle that was on the highway patrol, and they thought it was good to hire us from this area because the work ethics we generally had from this area, and generally, made good. What they say made good troopers.
Yeah, yeah. I know a bunch of them, and they've been good. All right, we're going to take a final break and come back with Wilbur. Okay, welcome back. First of all, let's take a look at our fishing game times today, brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers in Port St. Joe. We're looking at 4:12 a.m. to 6:12, and then this afternoon 4:38 to 6:38. Be a good day to get out and do some good stuff. We've got decent weather now. You know, we're talking about bucket list things and different things to do, and a whole list of bucket list things. And here's one of mine, and Wilbur was able to do this. I want you to share with us going pheasant hunting up in Kansas, the whole deal.
I was invited by Mike Peden. He set the hunt up, and we drove to Kansas, and it's north of Kansas City. We're only about 25 or 30 miles from Nebraska line where we were hunting up there in the farm country. But we drove up. There was 6 of us in the vehicle. Had a lot of socializing on the 2-day trip up. We hunted for 3 days and then drove 2 days back.
So a 7-day trip.
So it was a 7-day trip, 6-day trip. Yeah. It was 7 days, wasn't it?
Yeah. So, but y'all drove because you could take your own shotguns.
That's right. If you fly, you got a problem getting your weapon up there because you got to put them in a different storage and all that. And so they've tried flying and it didn't work. So times I've been twice. And both times we have drove, and it was very successful with what we did. And give us a chance to see the country a little bit. But, you know, being in the Panhandle, I've never seen some of that country.
Yeah. And it's enjoyable driving. Now, you get up there, you, of course, stay in a really nice lodge, and they're going to feed you and all that, or how do y'all do that?
The guide that we with has a house that we stay in and rent a house. The guide trip paid is a rental house, too. And we take care of getting our own food. They'll do it for us, but we have to eat on their schedule. So we go and find restaurants and eat up there. There's not a lot in that part of the country.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. The little town where we stayed, in the morning there was one place you could go get a sausage biscuit. Other than that, there was nothing else open. And there wasn't but one good grocery store there in that little place out in the farm country.
Yeah.
And, but we enjoyed it. We did a lot of walking. What we did was, if the guides had, of course, put birds out, and we went and walked them up and shot them. And I don't think I embarrassed myself for the hunting up there. We had success in killing the pheasants. And I had some pictures of them, but changing phones, I've lost the pictures. But we had a real successful hunt.
Did y'all have, how many of y'all was hunting?
There was 6 of us in that crew.
So y'all rotated? How did y'all do the rotation? I know with quail hunt, we rotate.
We walk in a line.
Okay.
And the bird got a retriever and 2 bird dogs. And they walked through and we walked behind them. And the birds are subject to be anywhere in that area there. It's usually about a 30-acre field where we're hunting. And when your dogs are pointing, sometimes birds just get up and fly. But
that scare you when they jump up?
Oh gosh,
I've heard that before.
When them males get up and make that loud sound, I'll guarantee you're gonna jump. You're gonna jump and just can't help it. It's just.
Do y'all have a morning hunt and an afternoon hunt?
No, we do it all in the morning. We usually go about 7 o'clock in the morning, and by 11 we're beat walking through those grass and weeds and those fields like that. But we're really, you know.
Okay, so one big hunt a day then.
100 a day.
What about the meat? Are they good to eat? I've never heard of
Yeah, they're like it's sort of like a cross between a dove and a quail as far as eating it. This meat's good, and we always bring some back. We kill, and they clean them for us and pack them in bags, and we bring them back. And
good deal.
Yeah.
I like that idea. You sort of going on your own with just an individual there, and you stay at the house and eat on your own and stuff like that.
The guides are real good. They got good dogs. Up there last year, there was a dog pointed close to where I was at, and the guy told me, he said, "Just go kick him up." And I walked there a little close, and the bird was in the grass. When he went to get up, the dog caught him. The dog caught the bird right there in the grass.
Oh, my goodness.
That was interesting to see that happen.
Yeah, I bet it was.
Yeah, it sure was. But we just had a real good time, and everybody just really did good. And we could have killed I believe it was 36 birds a day if we wanted to or could, but we didn't get that many per day. But we had plenty shooting. It was a lot of fun.
Good deal. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, I got to start wrapping things up. Got a minute or two left, so. Here, Consummate Outdoorsman has a small business, family business. That's why we We appreciate him advertising on the show. Here's the phone number. Get back to the middle fence right here. And don't forget that 10% discount. Call Wilbur, and I know you've been thinking about it now. Now's a good time. The summer's over. They're not quite as hot, and go ahead and get that fence put in there.
You know, I want to thank the people of Bay County for making my home. I've come into this area in '66. I've made a lot of friends and long lifetime friends with the Highway Patrol and in the fence business, and still socializing and still through the church. But I thank the Lord for my friends and I have in Bay County, and I don't think everybody's blessed to have that in an area, especially when you come as a stranger into an area.
Yeah, well, you've been well respected. He was one of these troopers. Everybody knew who he was, and some of the stories. I remember a story you told me a while back. This young man, you stopped him for speeding, and you just had a talk with him, and he didn't, teenager and all. And he remembered, and I don't think he gave him a ticket that time. He just gave him a stern warning, but he remembered that rest of his life.
He's 72. He just a short time ago when it was. And he said, "Do you remember stopping me in 1972 in Youngstown?" Oh my gracious, that's too many times. But I was glad to hear his story. Remind me of it, because if I did any good one time, that's great to hear.
You did good a lot of times, and I know a lot of times people appreciate things like that. I know at the same time you had to catch the bad guys a lot too, and you had to take care of that. But had a great career, well respected.
Real fortunate to stay 30 years and didn't get hurt. Yeah. Didn't hurt nobody except having to put them in jail once in a while. But that was just part of the job.
That's good.
And I had the opportunity to probably get promoted to supervisor, but I wanted to stay in this area where I loved everybody and tried to continue to do a good job.
That's great. Thank you, Wilbur. Good show.
Enjoyed it. Thank you.
Buddy. Y'all do something good today for someone else. Enjoy the great outdoors. Let's take care of it, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.